What is up, it's Schmeedy, and today we're talking about the best Pokemon to use for Horde clearing to efficiently EV and experience train your Pokemon. In this video I'll do a full breakdown of the Pokemon, including where you can catch it or what it might be like buying it on the GTL and the total investment for the setup. I'll go through what IVs and EVs you'll want along with its nature, and of course I'll go through the moveset and how you'll get all of these moves, because there are some extra special things about this Pokemon when it comes to that. I'll also show you my optimal team setup that makes things even more efficient so you never miss an opportunity to catch a Horde shiny while grinding XP. To prove the concept, I'm also going to show you my personal favorite experience training location and demo the amount of time it will take to do a full round of 6 battles from having a PP Max Sweet Center, so we can calculate the approximate amount of time to train a Pokemon from 1 to 100 depending on its experience tier. And on top of all of that, I'm going to be giving away the Pokemon I buy and set up for the purposes of this video so you can get yours for free. To enter to win, all you need to do is like the video, sub to the channel, and leave a comment below sending some good vibes. Honestly, it would be cool if you add someone you think would like the video, but I'm not going to require that part for the giveaway. Once this video gets to 1,000 views or 1 week passes, whichever happens first, I'll choose randomly from the people that have entered and add you with a comment to let you know you've won. If that sounds good to you, then stick around. Now really quick before moving on, just in case you don't know, Sweet Scent is a move that when used outside of battle where wild encounters can occur, it will draw a horde of 3 or 5 of the same Pokemon depending upon the location. There's moves that can hit all of them at once, so the underlying strategy is to use one of those moves to one-hit KO the whole horde, while the Pokemon you want to level up holds an EXP share. Now that's covered, one final bit before talking about the ultimate horde clearing Pokemon. I want to mention the few requirements you'll need for this strategy to work. You'll need an EXP share item to have the Pokemon you want to level up hold it. You can get one of those through storyline completion, so if you have a storyline done already, then you likely already have one in your bag. You'll need to have the Fly and Surf HMs, and you'll need to have the Hoenn region completed and have access to the Battle Frontier. You'll need to have the Univers region completed up through access to the shopping mall on Route 9, and finally you'll need 6,000 battle points, which can be earned by defeating the Elite Four for the first and following times, or by winning PvP battles. This is honestly the biggest hurdle, and I had to do 2 Elite Four reruns to have enough battle points for this video. If you don't have these prerequisites completed just yet, check out the rest of the video anyway, because it's still great info for after you do get that stuff, and you can save it or bookmark it for later. Alright, now that that's all been covered, let's get to the actual horde clearing boss, which is Pikachu. You heard right, this Gen 1 favorite can do it all as long as we have it set up for our specific needs. You can catch one of them at these locations on screen, so you can take a screenshot of that for later, or reference your Pokédex. We want it to have a plus special attack nature, ideally modest, but could also be mild or rash. You just don't want it to be quiet, because quiet gives a decrease to speed. For its IVs, you want it to have 25 plus in both special attack and speed, and for its EVs, max out both special attack and speed to go along with those prioritized IVs. Its ability actually doesn't matter much, whatever you can get a deal on the GTL if you're buying it, or no need to worry about hidden ability access if you're catching or breeding your own. Let's take a look at the initial price of a Pikachu that fits this description. I kinda want to be greedy and look for a modest one, because that's what I do. And the green numbers, so let's do the 31 special attack and speed, even though I did say 25 plus earlier. It's fine. Alright. Let's see what this looks like. Level 100. Ooh, this is EV trained. Oh man, and this one actually has 3 moves. This is legit 186. Yeah, and it's female, can be bred and everything. We're getting this. Okay, that was actually an insane deal. I'm gonna go ahead and break the video to go pick that up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now let's get into the moveset, which is what makes this pretty special. Firstly, we need its primary stab horde clearing move, which is Discharge. Pikachu can learn Discharge at level 32, and if you buy one past that level that doesn't know the move, no worries. You can go to any Pokemon Center in a region that you've cleared and talk to the move relearner to have it relearn Discharge. That will take 3 hard scales, which will be around 19k total from the GTL at the time of this recording. Then if it doesn't already know it, you'll teach it Surf, which it can learn from the HM outright, believe it or not, so that part's super simple. Surf is another horde clearing move, but it's also essential to access the best horde clearing locations, so it's a huge plus to be able to have Discharge and Surf on the same Pokemon. Next, you'll want it to know Sweet Scent, the move essential to drawing the hordes in the first place, and we got insanely lucky I think because this Pikachu knows it already, but I wasn't planning on that being the case, so I'm here at Mall 9 in the Unova region between Icarus City and Uplucid City where you can purchase the TM for 10k. The NPC that sells it is up this first flight of stairs on the right. Funnily enough, this is where one of the rich boys that gets beat up on my rich trainer run that earns 200k or more an hour is, right here. If you want to check that video out after, I'll leave the link in the description. And if you feel like being lazy or don't have Unova cleared up to this point, you could see if someone has a listing in the GTL for a slight upcharge. We're then going to want to PP Max Sweet Scent, and you can get one of those from the GTL for around 17.5k at the time of this recording. This one actually has Sweet Scent PP Max already, which is absolutely brilliant. Now the final move is the extra special one. If you've been around since Gen 1 like I have, Pikachu learning Surf isn't a huge surprise because Surfboard Pikachu has been a thing for a long time. But if that wasn't weird enough, Pikachu can actually learn Fly. That's right, we're going to teach our Pikachu Fly, although you can't just teach it outright. We'll need to jump through a special hoop, and this is where we'll need the 6,000 battle points and access to the battle frontier in the Hoenn region. I'm gonna head there now with what could be your brand new Pikachu that knows Discharge, Surf, and a PP Max Sweet Scent so far. I'll break the video so you don't have to watch me travel, but I'll show you where exactly to go from the battle frontier Poke Center. Okay, I'm here at the battle frontier in the Hoenn region. And here's a look at my map so you can see where I am. And from the Poke Center, we're gonna head north a bit up to the exchange center here. Head on inside and go straight and talk to this first NPC here, the special move tutor. Make sure your Pikachu is in your party. And then we're gonna go ahead and select that. And then see right here, Fly. For the 6,000 battle points, we're going to learn the move, and we're going to put it over the Thunderbolt. Yes. And your Pikachu now knows Fly. Simple as that. It just costs a lot with the 6,000 battle points, low key, but that's alright. What makes this so great is now your Pikachu fills multiple needs and condenses slots in your party so you can have more Pokemon in your party that you need to train, meaning less trips back to the PC and therefore more efficient training. Discharge and Surf can one-shot KO pretty much any Pokemon horde you'll be facing, and Surf and Fly give you access you need to move around and get to the horde locations, and Sweet Scent is the move you need to actually summon the hordes. It's actually insane to be able to have all of this utility on one Pokemon. Okay, before moving on, the total investment in this Pikachu was pretty darn lucky at just under 189k and 6,000 battle points, but let's tally up what it would be if you had to reteach it Discharge and buy Sweet Scent and a PP Max. So we have the initial purchase of the Pokemon for 189k, plus the 3 hard scales to relearn Discharge, which will be around 19k, plus the Sweet Scent TM, which is 10k, and the PP Max, for which will be around 17.5k. That brings the total to 235.5k and the 6,000 battle points. Not too bad for something that's going to be useful for the rest of the time that you play the game. That equates to just over 1 rich trainer run or just over 1 hour of gameplay for the Pokémon portion. The battle points take a lot more effort to accumulate, which is why you should just enter to win this one by liking the video, subbing to the channel, and leaving that comment declaring that it will be you that wins the Pikachu. So now that we've done the full breakdown on Pikachu and the investment to get it going, let's talk about the other Pokemon I have in my party when EV and XP training to make it even more efficient. Well, there's really only one that's needed to make it efficient, the other is more of a just in case. The one to make it more efficient is any Pokemon that knows Teleport. You can get a super cheap Abra on the GTL for like 1500 if you don't already have something. Having Teleport in your party in addition to Fly is really important for time saving because Fly brings you to the outside door of the Poke Center, whereas Teleport actually brings you inside the last Poke Center you healed at, facing the nurse NPC at the desk. Over many repetitions, this actually saves a crazy amount of time. You could of course have the ocarinas and not need to worry about this at all, but for those of us who haven't yet invested in them, this will be great. The other just in case Pokemon I have in my party is my primary catching Pokemon. I use a Breloom that knows Spore and False Swipe, which is widely recognized as one of the best in the game, but full details on that are for a different guide. This leaves 3 slots open to carry Pokemon that need to be EV or XP trained. So for example, I have 3 Pokemon that all need special attack EVs in my party, all equipped with EXP shares, so that I can get them all done at once. Then when I'm doing only experience training, I switch to only one Pokemon holding the XP share because it gets split rounded down, so I think it ends up being more efficient to do experience with only one at a time. Okay, so now let me show you my favorite experience training location and test the amount of time it takes and experience we'll get from doing a full round of Sweet Scent Horde battles here. We actually don't need to go anywhere because my favorite experience training location is right here in the Hoenn Battle Frontier. Before doing our tests, we need to be sure of a couple things. We're going to register both Sweet Scent and Teleport to our hotkey bar. We're going to heal up at the Poke Center here to make sure it's our teleport location, and because we'll have a 100% chance to face hordes of Tentacruels, we're going to make sure Discharge is Pikachu's first ability so we can just spam Ctrl Z or hold down A on your controller. This will be much faster either on PC or using controller on PC or mobile so you can spam the auto select. Okay, we're going to start our test from talking to the nurse and healing to teleporting back to the desk just before healing again. Okay, here we go. Starting with the healing, we're gonna button mash through this. And we're gonna run out here. We're gonna hop on the bike. We're gonna go east over to this water. Normally I would be considerate and not go right over top of someone. But you know, min-maxing here. Make sure there's no shinies. We use the shortcut on the hotkey bar to use Sweet Scent, button mashing for the discharge. That was one round here, 34.95, right to it. If you're wondering why my text is blank, that's because I have something called Super Story Strings installed, and I will put a link in the description for a short that I have to set that up. Really increases your efficiency with doing things like this. Also for gym reruns, so really quite valuable. Definitely worth checking out. Super easy to install. This is the awkward bit where I've now run out of things to say. Normally I would cut this out of the video, but you know, this is the whole purpose of the test and all. So, ramble, 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 banter, banter, banter. Once we're done with this, we're gonna do the immediate teleport back and stop the timer. I've actually never seen a shiny in the entire time that I've played the game. Like, never even seen one, let alone caught one. So I actually probably don't even need to pay attention. I just have false hope the entire time. My RNG is actually terrible with that, but I mean, at least I get lucky with the price of Pikachus on the GTL. That know 3 out of the 4 moves I needed to know. Alright, teleport using the hotkey and stop the timer. Okay, I'm gonna cut the video to be able to see the time and all of that. Yeah, be right back. Alright, that was 2.5 minutes, and we got an average of 3488 XP per battle, so 20,928 total. So rather than blabbing a whole bunch of numbers that will get jumbled up and not make any sense, I'm going to put a graphic on screen that will break down the number of times you'll need to use Sweet Scent to level a Pokemon from 1 to 100, depending on its experience tier, and how long it will take with optimal grinding. You can check what experience tier the Pokemon you're leveling is with a quick Google search like, how much experience does it take to level Breloom to 100 in PokeMMO? The answer is an agonizing 1.64 million, which is so much more than most others. This is the depth of information my min-maxing brain appreciates, so I was happy to do this for you guys. And with that, you're fully equipped to optimally EV and experience train your Pokemon using a Gen 1 favorite that has a wacky and incredibly useful moveset. Don't forget to enter to win the Pikachu by liking the video, subbing to the channel, and commenting something like, how does an electric mouse fly? It really is a mystery. Anyway, seeing the sub number go up and knowing that my videos are helping people really does make my day, so I was hyped to be able to make this one where I can actually do a giveaway. Now, if you're watching this after the giveaway is over, I'm sorry you don't have a chance at winning the free Pikachu friend, but please leave a comment down below letting me know how much you ended up spending to get your Pikachu, or if you got lucky catching one. Or if you have a different horde clearing Pokemon or team comp you feel is better, I'd be super interested in hearing that too. Much love, hope this helps, and catch you next time, gamers. What is